Joining us now is West Des Moines Valley head coach Gary Swenson. And Coach, last week you were coming off that tough overtime loss, but you bounced back and had another tough game with Johnson, but able to come out ahead in the end there. A good bounce back for you, huh?
Yeah, anytime you can win against, especially like the teams we have early in our schedule, you take it. We were very happy to get out of there with the win. They're a good team. We fell behind and had a few things happen to us that were of our own making, and we were just struggling. But we had a big fourth quarter. We just kept plugging away, and first half we ran the ball up and down the field. We just couldn't put it in the end zone, and we had some kicking issues. And halftime came at a good point for us. We kind of settled down a little bit, and then the second half, I thought we just kind of took over the game there for a while.
I haven't done any of your games, but it seems the ones I've seen, have you had a little trouble getting the offense kicked in the start of some of these games, it seems like, or is that?
No, I think that's a fair assessment. I think part of it's the good teams we're playing. Their defense, you have to credit their defenses. I think we'll get it together here pretty quick. I like what we're doing. We've managed to shoot ourselves in the foot a few times. We had all these penalties last week and then we had a fumble. We turned it over once, and you're not going to beat the real good teams doing that. So I guess I'm hoping we can work that out of our system and end up playing a cleaner football game, because I mean we'll certainly have to. I think Waukee is probably even a step up from Johnston. So we'll this is a real challenge for us, and we'll see where we're at again.
Well, I can't go without mentioning that win was the 400th for you, and that's impressive. But what's more impressive is that win versus losses. There's a lot more on the win side than there is on the loss side, and your reflections on that, what it means.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's nice. I mean, obviously, if you're at a good school and you stay there long enough, you're gonna accumulate a bunch of wins. It was never anything that I was setting out to do. I don't think it changes anything. I mean, the recognition was nice. I think we all want to be looked at as someone who does their job well, but it just isn't anything we ever talk about. We hadn't talked about it going into the game to the coaches or the players. I mean, it wasn't a secret, but that wasn't certainly that was not our focus last week. The fact that it came and happened like it did, that was gratifying. I look at it. The best part of the whole weekend for me was all the messages I got from former players and coaches that I hadn't heard from for a long time. And that, it's the people that you share those things with along the way that are important. It's not the number of wins. This is high school football. I mean, yeah, like I said, as a coach, nothing changes for you. But the fact that I heard from so many people, I just really did appreciate that end of it.
That's the fun part, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it, Waukee, and the wins aren't any easier than they used to be, are they? And this is a team too that's coming in, averaging 50 points on offense, only giving up about 17 on defense. What do you got to do to win this game against Waukee?
Well, certainly we're going to have to score way more early than we have been. And we got to get out of the gate. We can't. These guys can really accumulate points in a hurry. They got an experienced quarterback. They got some dynamic receivers, really talented running back. So, I mean, you don't score that volume of points week in and week out by accident. You're a good football team. I don't care who you're playing. So it'll be a good challenge on both sides of the ball for us, but I think we might just have to outscore them. I mean, I don't think we're going to shut them out by any means. They're too good and too talented. So we got to get some points up. If we don't, we won't be in this game for long.
I know, and I hate to bring this up, don't want to get the announcer jinx, but you've had some injury issues the last couple of years. How you coming into this one? You sitting pretty good here?
No, it's been awesome. I mean, kids like Zay Robinson, who lost his entire season last year. It's been fun to just see him get to enjoy the game again and get to play and get back on the field. It was really pretty emotional, I think, for him after that first game. I think it just hit him. I mean, he had a long recovery, and it was, he went down in our scrimmage last year. We hadn't even started the season, so he had a long time to think about what he had missed, and it was fun to watch. And other than a few bumps and bruises, I think we're fairly healthy.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. You and I, back when I played, you don't realize you only have a certain number of games in high school you get to play.
Yeah.
When you lose any of those, and as a young kid, you're thinking, oh, you got, it's gonna be there a long time, but they go very quickly, don't they?
You don't realize it till you get hurt, and then when you're on the outside looking in, I think it really hits you smack dab in the middle, and it's painful for a high school kid to look. I think that's the hardest part of my job, is having to watch a player go through that, and hopefully it's, not a season or career ending thing, but we've had those too. And it's gut wrenching for the player and the coaches.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to a good, competitive back and forth and a good ball game here Friday night, Coach. And thanks for joining us on the pregame.
You bet. Thanks for having me on, Dar.